protecting your own.
If you empty out the coffers of the nobility, what do you think will happen when the fighting's done?
I'll swallow your face in sheets.
It's the grand ball in the Winter Palace. One must be on their best behavior if one is to be seen.
In the Inquisition? Red Jenny? How's that?
Making sure they don't forget her.
Простые кровати в стиле времен трех маленьких императриц, тройняшек, которые тройняшками не были. В юности они отличались скромностью, но все равно олицетворяли собой зловещие идеи. Поговаривали, что императрица Мириза родила одну дочь, но удочерила еще двоих девочек, очень на нее похожих, чтобы так защитить свое потомство от убийства. По-своему мудрое решение, но оно породило ряд других проблем, суть которых можно в общих чертах уяснить из детской считалочки, распространенной в то время. Было три императрицы, кто из них взойдет на трон. Чай попили, стало двое. Был, видать, отравлен он. Было две императрицы, а корона лишь одна. Вот клинка сверкнула жалая, вторая умерла. Одна императрица-крошка осталась, верь не верь, кто из троих был настоящий, а править ей теперь. Надпись на табличке. Здесь, в самом сердце рынка, вашему вниманию предлагаются непревзойденные предметы ручной работы, предназначенные для будуаров. Наши товары созданы по образцам, предпочитаемым большинством величайших правителей прошлого. Отдыхайте, дорогие земляки, отдыхайте, Орлей.
Those who oppose thee shall know the wrath of heaven. Field and forest shall burn. The sea shall rise and devour them.
The wind shall tear their nations from.
Who had granted them power over the very fade itself. Inquisitor, welcome. Thanks to your investment, I have all manner of runners scouring the wake of your adventures. If there's a tome that eludes you, I will endeavor to fill the gaps. I will not deny...
Maker, though the darkness comes upon me.
Do you know where this noble wanted to meet us?
I do. The Comte Poivers invited us to his mansion, not far from here. I pray he clears up the deaths of my messengers, as promised.
Lead the way.
Welcome, my friend.
Thank you for seeing us, Comte Poivers.
The honor is mine. Please, sit. It's an honor to assist two such distinguished guests.
I hope helping us doesn't endanger you.
Hardly. Even a brush with someone as well known as yourself can become a great asset in Val Royeaux. Giving you the identity of those who murdered Lady Montily's messengers seemed the least I could do. Have you heard of the House of Repose?
The Assassin's League?
My contacts obtained a copy of a document in the archives. Contract for life.
The House of Repose is hereby sworn to eliminate anyone attempting to overturn the Montiliers' trading exile in Oрлея.
Overly complicated assassination plots are part of Orlesian politics, I take it.
They're all too common, I'm afraid.
The contract was signed by a noble family. The Du Paraquets.
But the Du Paraquets died out as a noble line over 60 years ago.
Indeed. But the contract was signed 109 years ago.
How can a family try to kill you after they died out?
The Du Paraquets were our rivals. They drove the Montiliers from Val Royeaux. This contract was drawn up over 100 years ago, but it wasn't invoked until I tried to overturn my family's exile.
Unpleasant though it may be, the House of Repose is merely fulfilling its contractual duties.
If the people who wanted your family dead are gone, why are the assassins still after you?
A contract is a contract, Inquisitor. Orlesian businesses live and die by their reputations. The entire guild's welfare would be endangered if an agreement was tossed aside on a whim of time or fate.
She's quite right, Your Worship. The House of Repose is doing what it feels necessary, by its standards.
I'll do what I can to stop these attacks, Josephine.
Thank you, Inquisitor. I think I may know how. The Du Paraquets still have descendants under the common branch. If we elevate them to nobility, a Du Paraquet could annul the contract on my life.
That will take time, Lady Montilier. Time during which the House of Repose will be obliged to hunt you.
Will they now? You are exceedingly well informed. You're not to have said you'd heard rumors, at best.
A bit of subterfuge. This contract on your life is an ugly business. one the House of Repose deeply regrets. But this is Oрлея. Even an assassin's word is his bond.
Does Comte Boisvert actually exist?
Absolutely. The Comte's offer to reveal the killers of Lady Montile's messengers was genuine. So was his information somehow. An end to be tied up later.
I'm guessing the actual Comte Boisvert met with a fatal accident.
Comte Boisvert slumbers in a nearby closet. Nothing more. The contract on Lady Montile's life is so unusual, we felt the courtesy of an explanation was in order.
It is appreciated, monsieur.
Your idea to seek out a du Paraquet to revoke our orders is an interesting one. I wish you luck. I did not come to shed blood today, Inquisitor. Only to speak. Might I pass?
Why warn us about your contract and let us go?
In Oрлея, it is only decent to inform those involved in a contract when extraordinary circumstances conspire.
And the guild's reputation would suffer if you ignored the contract. I quite understand.
Thank you, my lady. May we conclude with my departure?
Go then.
Good day, your worship. My lady, I pray we'd never meet again.
Well, I didn't think our meeting would end like this.
We'll deal with these assassins.
I have some thoughts. Let's discuss them back at Skyhold. I'll feel safer with the castle's walls around me.
Do you hear something? Battling the demons of paperwork. That's a fight nobody walks away from clean.
You have no idea the number of times I've almost been killed by bills of lading. I've been meaning to come talk to you anyhow. I never officially joined the Inquisition. I don't know how to do this, disciplehood thing. I'm a businessman. Never really followed a chosen one before.
I don't even know how to deal with all this. Just make something up. It'll be fine.
Oh, so we're saving the world through bullshit now? All right, I can manage that. You just don't know what you are to the people out there. The Herald of Andraste is a symbol bigger than any of us.
What am I to you then?
None of this shit makes any sense to me. Is this the end of the world? Did Andraste send you through the breach? I have no idea. You heard the crowd singing after Haven was attacked?
Whatever I am to Thedas, I'm still just an ordinary person.
So, just a regular person, like anybody else. Right. I should probably get back to work. Unless, you up for a game of Wicked Grace? I can spare some time. What do you need?
Tell me the truth, Varric. Do you actually think I was sent by Andraste?
Shit. This is going to be awkward. I guess I do. Either you're guided by the hand of some higher power, or you have the worst luck.
I wouldn't have pegged you as an Andrastian.
It's a great story. It's got heroism, love, betrayal, and random musical numbers. What's not to like? I don't have a nug in this race. It could be bullshit, it could be true. I'll never know. But I like the idea that maybe you could save the world with a song.
Let's be realistic. It could be both.
You've got a point. Look at all the shit that's happened to you. You were saved from the explosion that leveled a mountaintop and fell out of the Fade. You fought a demon inside your mind in the middle of a pitched battle between Templars. Faced down one of the ancient magisters who started the Blights, had a mountain fall on you, and lived. One of those things would be impossible. All of them together? That's a miracle.
So, on the basis of my extraordinarily bad luck, you think I'm Andraste's herald?
If you know the story of Andraste, you know that bad luck is sort of her thing.
You have begun practicing new magical forms. Interesting. You seem to be drawing upon the raw substance of the Fade, likely using your mark as a catalyst. I use similar techniques, although it took me years to learn them. Why did you choose such an esoteric area of study?
My needs were largely pragmatic. I hoped this magic might be of use in our fight.
Indeed. Since Corypheus damaged the Veil, the raw chaos of the Fade contains an abundance of power from which to draw. Did you need anything else?
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Anything interesting?
A letter regarding a friend. You never met him, but he was at Redcliffe when everything happened. I was trying to discover what became of him, where he ended up.
And?
Nothing. Redcliffe is abandoned, and there's no trace of him. It's as if he never existed. I think the Venatori found out he was helping me. I think they killed him.
Are you all right?
He was ill, and thus on borrowed time anyhow.
That doesn't mean you can't regret his death.
I know. Felix used to sneak me treats from the kitchens when I was working late in his father's study. Don't get into trouble on my behalf, I tell him. I like trouble, he'd say. Tevinter could use more mages like him. Those who put the good of others above themselves.
Were the two of you...
Felix and I? What an odd question. No, there was nothing between us. He was just a fine young man, better than I. Maybe if the world were a better place, he'd be here instead of me.
What was he doing in Redcliffe if he wasn't part of the Venatori?
He was there with his father. In fact, Felix was the reason I knew where the Venatori were. He'd planned to help if you came to Redcliffe, I understand. He had so much more than I to lose by helping. He should be alive, not I.
Are you certain you're not making him into someone he wasn't?
He occasionally neglected to bathe. Should I mention that in his eulogy?
Probably not.
He wasn't perfect, but he was a fine young man. I'll miss him. Thankfully, Felix wasn't the only decent sort kicking around Thedas.
Here is the request Harriet made.
Are there any special instructions?
No, I would have stated as much.
Yes, of course. quick.
Of course you will. You're a runner. You may depart in a moment.
Oh, good.
The Templars will be an asset to this Inquisition. It's a shame we couldn't also get the mages on our side. The Divine's death hit you hard. How have you been feeling?
Oh, you are referring to my outburst in the Haven. I am much better now. Justinia was such a dear friend and there were so many things going wrong.
Let's just move on. It's best that way.
You're right, Inquisitor.
I'll leave you to your work.
Your worship. My Lady Inquisitor, it's good of you to speak with me. I have news regarding one of your companions, the Tevinter.
Has Dorian done something wrong?
No, thankfully. It's nothing like that. I have been in contact with his family. House Pavas out of Carenas. Are you familiar with them?
I've never spoken to Dorian about his past.
The family sent a letter describing the estrangement from their son and pleading for my aid. They've asked to arrange a meeting quietly without telling him. They fear it's the only way he'll come. Since you seem to be on good terms with the young man, I'd hoped...
Just what kind of meeting do they have in mind?
I believe they just want to talk, to understand why Dorian felt he had to come here. Somewhat private, away from Skyhold, but not in Tevinter. You make them nervous, I think. They don't understand why he's here with the Inquisition. They want him to come home.
What happens if Dorian doesn't agree?
Hopefully that will be the end of it. If not, well, that's why you should be there.
Why would his family contact you?
Because they don't know you, Inquisitor. I am not of the Imperial Chantry, but they know what I represent. These are parents concerned about the welfare of their son. How could I not do whatever possible? I would speak to the young man myself, but he does not care for me. Thus I come to you. If any good can come of this, we must try.
They don't want Dorian to know. That seems odd.
They believe the young man would refuse, and the letter implies he'd have cause. Yet, they are remorseful for whatever came before. This is a chance for dialogue. There is deceit in bringing the young man to this meeting without his foreknowledge, I know. But does it not lead to a greater kindness if there is potential for reconciliation?
Are you sure this isn't some kind of trap? I mean, the secrecy...
That did occur to me. What if it is a plot of those mages, the Venatori? Another reason to put this in your hands, Inquisitor. I pray that isn't the case. But if it is, you are far better equipped than I to respond to such treachery.
If you think I'm going to trick Dorian into meeting his family...
I feared you might say that. The family will send a retainer to meet the young man at the Red Cliff Tavern, to take him onward. If he truly does not wish this reunion, he can always end the matter there. I pray you change your mind, Inquisitor. Perhaps their letter will persuade you. If there is any chance of success in this, it behooves us to act.
Ваше преподобие, понимаю, что вам покажется неуместной моя просьба привести Дориана на тайную встречу. Мне самому не верится, что я об этом прошу, но, но поскольку мой сын оборвал все связи и не отвечает на письма, это единственный способ. Я его знаю, он слишком гордый, чтобы даже просто прийти поговорить, а ведь бывшего нам и не надо. А ведь большего нам и не надо. Не могу выразить, как нас тревожит мысль, что Дориан где-то на юге подвергает себя опасности. Слуга семьи будет ждать Дориана в Вандральских холмах. Он отведет мальчика на встречу с нами в укромном месте. Если Дориан откажется идти с ним, так тому и быть, ничего не поделаешь. Больше мы ничего придумать не можем. Искренне ваш магистр Галвард из дома Павусов.
I'm so sorry, Inquisitor. I never thought my family's trading status would trap us in an assassin's plot.
Between our soldiers and spies, Skyhold's safer than anywhere else in Thedas.
Yet the problem persists. I've tracked down the last two parakeets. If they become gentry, they can annul the contract on my life. We'll require a noble from Val Royaux to sponsor them, a judge to provide documents, a minister to ratify them.
It's so like you to take the longest course of action, even when your life is at stake.
I assume you already know everything about this mess.
There is a faster way, Josephine. The original contract on your life is in the vaults of the House of Repose. If my agents infiltrate it and destroy the original, the assassin will have no obligation to chase you.
Liliana, please. I want no more bloodshed over a personal affair.
Don't be so stubborn, Josie. How long will it take you to gather these favors in Val Royaux?
If destroying the original contract will satisfy the guild, I say we do it.
But I'm sure my plan will work, Inquisitor.
Whatever happens, I'll assign you more guards. The House of Repose won't be idle long.
I appreciate it, but I still believe elevating the two parakeets will solve this. First, we need to perform some favors in Val Royaux. I'd be happy to discuss where we could begin. Any news on the House of Repose, Inquisitor?
Let's speak later.
Farewell.
Лилиана хочет поручить лазутчикам уничтожить контракт на убийство Жозефины. Если физически уничтожить контракт, у Дома Вдохновения не останется причины посылать убийц. Разумеется, на то, чтобы попасть в Дом Вдохновения, потребуется время. Возможно, не обойдется без жертв.
Let's see what we have.
At your service.
Официальный документ на бумаге с тонким кружевом. Инквизиция – воистину поразительное движение, повелевающее сердцами, умами и легионами. Она достойна внимания, как и сам инквизитор. Мои господа довольны, я привезу свои товары, и вместе мы еще больше расширим ваше влияние. Вы будете покупать не просто сокровища, но саму людскую волю. Почетный представитель Фарис.
So I take it you're Dalish? Is that the correct word here?
Yes, that's right.
We don't have Dalish clans coming northward, for obvious reasons. So I've never met one of your people before, although I've heard about them. Little. I hope this won't be an issue between us. I am here to help you deal with the Venatori, after all.
And I appreciate your help, Dorian.
Excellent. Mutual appreciation is a grand way to begin.
Dorian, there's a letter you need to see.
A letter? Is it a naughty letter? A humorous proposal from some Antivan dowager?
Not quite. It's from your father.
From my father? I see. And what does Magister Hallward want, pray tell?
A meeting.
Show me this letter.
I know my son? What my father knows of me would barely fill a thimble. This is so typical.
I'm willing to bet this retainer is a henchman, hired to knock me on the head and drag me back to Tevinter.
You think your father would actually do that?
No, although I wouldn't put it past him. Let's go. Let's meet this so-called family retainer. If it's a trap, we escape and kill everyone. You're good at that. If it's not, I send the man back to my father with the message that he can stick his alarm in his wit's end.
There seems to be bad blood between you and your family.
Interesting turn of phrase. We've never talked about my family before. They're not happy with my choices, you see. Nor I theirs.
What choices? Leaving Tevinter?
That too.
I think you should meet with this retainer. Find out what your family wants.
I didn't ask what you thought, did I? That was unworthy, I apologize. There'd be no harm in hearing what this man of my father's has to say. If I don't like it, however, I want to leave.
Your parents are reaching out to you. Doesn't that mean something?
Only that they're trying to choke me. Don't mind me. Let's see what comes of this.
How may I help you? Is there anything I can do to help your efforts at restoring the Circle?
After the Circles fell, their libraries were plundered by scavengers. 1,000 years of recorded knowledge in the hands of bandits. It makes me sick to think of it. I've received news that some tomes have been located, if you are interested in righting this wrong.
I'll look into it for you.
If you can take care of this matter, the Circle would be in your debt.
Greetings.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Worship.
No one to watch over, your worship. We either have many friends, or you've made short work.
Yes? Do you have any advice for me?
Watch the treasury carefully, with that Sarah present.
You think she's here to rob us?
Possibly not, but I would hardly put it past her.
I have some more questions.
Why am I not surprised?
Tell me about your brother.
I would prefer not to speak of Anthony. Another time, perhaps. Another time, then.
I wondered why all Skyhold seemed suddenly brighter.
Shouldn't you be out there, scouting?
In a bit. We're in Skyhold for supplies and a change of personnel. Not me, though. Indispensable.
So who's...
Me? Oh, I'm no one. Then I signed on. Wanted to see the world before it was swallowed up by... that thing out there.
What's been going on?
They've done a lot with this place. I'm impressed.
What's been going on?
Just waiting to get back out there. See you later.
The funniest thing I've seen in years. That cat dancing around, hopping and pouncing like a fool. Made my day bright, it did. Maker knows what got into the little rat catcher.
How's it going?
See you later, Bull.
Nice talking with you, boss.
You've heard?
Of she who stands behind the throne.
If you think that.
Nobility.
I hear Vashel was good pay for you, Inquisitor. Time to go see if my friends came through too. Got a location for a stash. Hopefully something nice for my trouble. Well, your trouble. Just let me know when you're ready to head out. Be sure to bring your empty pockets.
I'm ready if you are.
Always, yeah. My favorite part, this. Let's go see what friends can get us. Wait, this is weird.
What?
I was expecting a village or something. The people that leave me stuff don't trek out to places like this. Give me a city and I'll give you a tour, but surprise, surprise, I don't know stupid woods or ruins. What's that?
Don't hurt me. Harmond made me do it.
Quiet yourself. We're here to help.
Help? Had enough help. I complain about a fight and suddenly I'm an agent or something.
You were the one with the rumor out of Vashel. My friend.
You're her. You're the one he's waiting for. It's her. She's here. Red Jenny.
Hold on. I was not aware the Inquisitor was personally involved. This is a tragic misunderstanding. Let's all sheath our swords, you walk out, and we'll conduct this like business.
Don't believe this pissbag. He started it.
wasn't so hard, was it? We identified the confusion, and we worked past it. I'm Lord Pelharmond. I do hope, Inquisitor, that you continue to respond to reason. After all, your choice of company is hardly virtuous.
Frigging user, you are. Another noble prick who punches down.
We're the same, you and I. Well, that is overstating it. You are nothing like me. But we both need people.
This ambush was your doing. Or am I remembering that wrong?
Granted, it wasn't a direct attack, but the first move was hers, and apparently yours. Honestly, previous to this very moment, I thought you'd also been tricked by these red jennies. Despite your foreign nature, as Inquisitor, you are a social peer. I attacked them on behalf of us both.
Arse biscuit.
Quite. Inquisitor, Herald, I don't want to be your enemy. I'm barely invested in being hers. If you are willing to recognize an opportunity, we could be exceptional partners.
You were up to something in Vishel, Harmond. What was it?
If you mean bettering my wealth and position, I'm always seeking that.
By getting people hurt?
Lady Shell Morveau and I were jockeying for the land south of Vershel. To claim land, you must populate it. My people encouraged hers to leave. Her people answered in kind, etc. Really, it was all terribly standard displacement until your troops seemed to change the balance. Well played.
Stop talking to him. Really, just stop it.
What would you be willing to commit to the Inquisition?
Why even ask?
Because a leader needs such information to make informed decisions. My family has ties across Lower Ferelden. Our presence in Oрлея is recent, which is why I resorted to subterfuge. We have militia elsewhere, and they can be made expendable for your purposes.
Tell the snot splash no already. Not saying again.
The servants you killed, they did nothing except talk about what was going on.
You killed my contacts. My friends.
That is entirely true.
Well, that should be that then.
You're the one who empowered them, made their complaints a threat. Perhaps you should have warned them about talking to you.
3, 2, frigging done!
Now what was the point of that?
Mother puss-bucket frigging bastard shitebag piss-face! Eat it, you lop-eared son of an arsenut rot piece of...
Sarah!
What?
He's done. You're done. Relax. It's over.
I said. Friends, Inquisitor. Better than his lot any day. What? What do you want? Because I'm still angry. Angry face. And you should thank me for stomping the smile off that arse. He was getting in your head.
I don't tolerate people questioning my decisions.
But that was just...
I don't want to hear it. I'm leading too many people to put up with this.
You are bloody lucky you're still on my good side. Because I'd... something.
I need all the help I can get, but consider this a warning.
Well, understood. Hop to and all that. If you need me, I'll be waiting for some barking ass to give me orders. So hard to get. Stupid. Everyone. getting serious about mage stuff, magic, things. How about not so much? Just asking for not so much magic. Great, yeah?
I was thinking you and I should get to know each other.
You've got a pretty way about you. We can see where that goes, if it goes the way I like. I mean, maybe. Yeah, maybe. And I am a good judge of people. I don't date pricks. Really, because prick and prick... Look, you're nice. Let's travel around more. I get to know you. We'll see.
Our heroes strode the winding road, defiant of the vile. Uncertain pause for hope. Inquisitor, a title hard to rhyme. A challenge for another day, I think. Forgive me my distractions, Eminence. I'm overwhelmed by you and what you've done. My name is Meriden, a humble bard.
Are you a bard like those of Oрлея?
Oh, heavens no. I'm a minstrel first. My weapon is a cutting tongue, not blades. I hope my skills will help in some small way, if only I can give your deeds their due.
What do you bring to the Inquisition?
A simple thing that you know well. The power of a muse to rally hearts and minds. Inquisitor, I want to spread the word of what you've done. A small but vital role. Perhaps I'll also make a coin or two.
Carry on, then.
Oh, I will do my best, Inquisitor.
Any stories?
Oh, plenty. No one interesting, though.
Our struggle is young. Rest assured, intrigue begets begetting.
He didn't take one of my girls. Those were his words.
Gloat all you like. I have this one.
Are you sassing me, Commander? I didn't know you had it in you.
Why do I even... Inquisitor.
Leaving, are you? Does this mean I win?
Are you two playing nice?
I'm always nice. You need to come to terms with my inevitable victory. You'll feel much better.
Really? Because I just won. And I feel fine.
Don't get smug. There will be no living with you.
I should return to my duties as well. Unless you would care for a game.
Prepare the board, Commander.
As a child, I played this with my sister. She would get this stuck-up grin whenever she won, which was all the time. My brother and I practiced together for weeks. Oh, the look on her face the day I finally won. And between serving the Templars and the Inquisition, I haven't seen them in years. I wonder if she still plays.
You have siblings?
2 sisters and a brother.
Where are they now?
They moved to South Reach after the Blight. I do not write to them as often as I should. Ah, it's my turn.
All right, let's see what you've got.
This may be the longest we've gone without discussing the Inquisition, or related matters. To be honest, I appreciate the distraction.
We should spend more time together.
I would like that.
Me too.
You said that.
we should finish our game, right? My turn? I believe this one is yours. Well played. We shall have to try again sometime.
Дорогая Мия, я до сих пор жив, твой любящий брат Калин. Нет, честное слово, неужели так трудно написать 3 фразы? Мы думали, ты погиб. Снова, не будь Инквизиция у всех на устах, мы бы так и не услышали, что ее славный командир выжил в убежище. В последнее время рассказывают много странного о храмовниках. Хорошо, что ты от них ушел. Я думала, ты подал в отставку от того, что вступил в Инквизицию, но дело было не только в этом, да? Глупо просить тебя беречь себя, но ты уж попытайся, пожалуйста. Твоя любящая сестра. Видишь, как просто. Мия. Миледи Инквизитор, дело сделано. Дом отдохновения прячется хорошо, но наши лазутчики все равно добрались до них и уничтожили контракт на убийство Жозефины, а также нашли кое-что интересное насчет будущих целей. Жозефина не обрадуется тому, что мы выбрали этот способ, но лучше уж я смирюсь с ее недовольством, чем с ее смертью. Лилиана. Конечно, леди-инквизитору не по рангу вмешиваться в такое намеренно что-то подрывать. Обычная шалость. Переписка Жозефине на записке от сэра. Этот мужик та еще гадина. Слуг вечно лупит, думает, за деньги все можно. Опозорить бы его на собственном ужине. Куча народа спасибо скажет, а у них ключи и всякое прочее. Сэр, ниже на второпандатное время, а также алисианская маска и несколько полумасок.
Let's see what we have.
Let us begin.
All right.
I must return to Valrayo to see that everything is in order. Please join me when you can.
into?
And in the balance,
Grandmother, you heard about Haven. It's destroyed. Completely gone.
I heard.
Joining up soon, Your Worship. Thank you for all you've done.
Uh-oh, nobody's here. This doesn't bode well.
Dorian.
Father. So the whole story about the family retainer was just, what? A smokescreen?
Then you were told. I apologize for the deception, Inquisitor. I never intended for you to be involved.
Of course not. Magister Parvus couldn't come to Skyhold and be seen with the dread Inquisitor. What would people think? What is this exactly, Father? Ambush? Kidnapping? Warm family reunion?
This is how it has always been.
You went through all of this to get Dorian here. Talk to him.
Yes, Father. Talk to me. Let me hear how mystified you are by my anger.
Dorian, there's no need to.
I prefer the company of men. My father disapproves.
I'll need you to explain that.
Did I stutter? Men and the company thereof, as in sex. Surely you've heard of it.
This is not exactly news, Dorian.
And why should it be? Why should anyone care? I have no idea.
This display is uncalled for.
No, it is called for. You called for it by luring me here.
This is not what I wanted.
I'm never what you wanted, Father. Or had you forgotten?
That's a big concern in Tevinter, then.
Only if you're trying to live up to an impossible standard. Every Tevinter family is intermarrying to distill the perfect mage, perfect body, perfect mind, the perfect leader. It means every perceived flaw, every aberration is deviant and shameful. It must be hidden.
Your father might be here to reach out. You could give him a chance.
Let's just go.
Dorian, please. If you'll only listen to me.
Why? So you can spout more convenient lies? He taught me to hate blood magic. The resort of the weak mind. Those are his words. But what was the first thing you did when your precious heir refused to play pretend for the rest of his life? You tried to change me.
I only wanted what was best for you.
You wanted the best for you. Your fucking legacy. Anything for that.
You got a lot off your chest. Can't you give him a chance to do the same?
Tell me why you came.
If I knew, I would drive you to the Inquisition.
You didn't. I joined the Inquisition because it's the right thing to do. Once, I had a father who would have known that.
Once, I had a son who trusted me. A trust I betrayed. I only wanted to talk to him, to hear his voice again, to ask him to forgive me.
He says we're alike. Too much pride. Once I would have been overjoyed to hear him say that. Now I'm not certain. I don't know if I can forgive him.
Are you all right?
No, not really. Thank you for bringing me out there. It wasn't what I expected, but it's something. Maker knows what you must think of me now, after that whole display.
I think you led me on, actually.
Ah, the flirting. You're a remarkable woman, Inquisitor. I mean that in the best way. In another life, I meant no offense. I'll desist if you prefer.
Desist? Don't you dare.
I stand so instructed. At any rate, time to drink myself into a stupor. It's been that sort of day. Join me sometime, if you've a mind.
I don't know what you think you're doing.
I'm being clucked at by a hen, evidently.
Don't play the fool with me, young man.
If I wanted to play the fool, I could be rather more convincing, I assure you.
Your glib tongue does you no credit.
You'd be surprised at the credit my tongue gets me, Your Reverence.
Oh, I
What's going on here?
It seems the revered mother is concerned about my undue influence over you.
It is just concern. Your worship, you must know how this looks.
You might need to spell it out, my dear.
This man is of Tevinter. His presence at your side, the rumors alone.
What's wrong with him being from Tevinter, specifically?
I'm fully aware that not everyone from the Imperium is the same.
How kind of you to notice. Yet still you bow to the opinion of the masses.
The opinion of the masses is based on centuries of evidence. What would you have me tell them?
The truth?
The truth is I do not know you, and neither do they. Thus, these rumors will continue.
Oh. I'd like to hear what these rumors are exactly.
I could not repeat them, your worship.
Repeat them? So you've shared them before?
See, I meant no disrespect, Inquisitor. Only to ask after this man's intentions. If you feel he is without ulterior motive, then I humbly beg forgiveness of you both.
Well, that's something.
She didn't get to you, did she?
No. It takes more to get to me than thinly veiled accusations.
You don't think she'll do anything?
Do what? Yours is the good opinion I care about, not hers. I should ask, do the rumors bother you?
Why should it bother me? Everyone's talking about the Inquisition.
That's good. I'd hate to think I brought you any grief. Perhaps it's odd to say, but I think of you as a friend, Inquisitor. I have precious few friends. I didn't think to find one here. Don't speak. I detest confessions, and I'd like to get this over with. Allow me to say I'll stand beside you, against Corypheus, my countryman, or spurious rumor, so long as you'll have me.
at your service.
На императрицу готовится покушение. Смерть Селины посеет в Орлее хаос, и страна станет легкой добычей для корифея. В Зимнем дворце Халамширала Селена под видом пышного бала проводит мирные переговоры со своим доверенным братом, великим герцогом Гаспаром. Будут присутствовать все дворяне империи, и засланному убийце будет легко нанести удар. Нам надо получить приглашение и помешать корифею разрушить Орлей. Если поторопимся, то успеем.
We have to reach the Empress before Corypheus. The only question is, how?
We know how. I have our way in. The real question is, where is our enemy hiding? At the urging of Grand Duchess Florian, the Empress is holding a ball. Absolutely everyone will be there. During the festivities, Celine will be meeting for peace talks with usurper Duke Gaspard and Ambassador Briala.
The assassin must be hiding within one of these factions.
What do we know about Duke Gaspard?
The man who would have been Emperor. He's Celine's cousin, and was first in line to inherit the throne when Emperor Florian died. Celine outmaneuvered him. She won over the Council of Heralds, who hold authority over title disputes. She became Empress, and he a general in the Imperial Army. He's well loved by the troops. He's also a Chevalier. Most of their number sided with him when he turned on the Empress.
Aren't the Chevaliers part of the army? Why would they follow the Duke?
Most Chevaliers are sworn to serve the crown, but that does not give them faith in the person wearing it. The Empress has tried to improve relations with Ferelden and Navarra. The Chevaliers see her as anti-military. They believe Gaspard could lead the Empire back to the glory of Draken's expansion years.
Who is this Ambassador Briala?
An ambassador in name only. She has organized the elves of Halam Shiral into an underground army. The Empress invited her to the peace talks in a bid to gain the elves' alliance in the war. That would be scandal enough, without the rumor that Briala is a jilted lover of Celine's. A personal grudge and a network of saboteurs at her command. Promising lead.
Wait, the elven leader is a jilted lover of the Empress.
It's not widely known. Just a rumor whispered among the palace servants a few years ago. If it's true and were to get out, the Empress and an elf. The scandal could destroy Celine's court. Even if a lie, Briala could use it to blackmail the Empress. She has some connection to the throne.
Tell me everything we know about the Empress.
Empress Celine is a renowned diplomat and reformer. She works tirelessly to secure peace for the Empire. Unfortunately, many Orlesians view peace as complacency. She has yet to name an heir, leaving the future of the Empire in doubt if anything happens to her. Especially when the next in line is her cousin Gaspard, who's made few friends on the Council of Heralds.
Celine is surrounded at all times by countless guards, courtiers, servants, and vassals. What better place for an assassin to hide than the Empress's own household?
How can Gaspard still be next in line while he wages war against his Empress?
The title Grand Duke indicates that he was a prince before the Empress took the throne.
Do we need to go to the peace talks? The Empress must have personal guards. We could just warn her she's in danger.
We've made the attempt, but...
It seems that our messages never reached her. Someone intercepted them.
It's better that we don't leave this to chance. If Oрлея falls to Corypheus, no land is safe.
We shouldn't waste any time. Let's go to the Winter Palace.
The political situation in Halam Shiral hangs by a thread. The Empress fears our presence could sever it. The Grand Duke is only too happy to have us at the ball as his guests, so our invitation comes from him. Whether we act as his allies or upset the balance of power, he gains an opportunity, if not a clear advantage.
It is a great pleasure to meet you, Inquisitor Lavellen. Bringing the Templars into your ranks was not just a brilliant military move, but a clever political ploy as well. Imagine what the Inquisition could accomplish with the full support of the rightful Emperor of Oрлея.
And which one was the rightful one again? I keep getting them confused.
The handsome, charming one, of course, my lady. I am not a man who forgets his friends, Inquisitor. You help me, I'll help you. My lady, are you prepared to shock the court by walking into the Grand Ball with a hateful usurper? They will be telling stories of this into the next age.
I can't imagine that crowd has seen anything better than us in their entire lives.
You're a woman after my own heart, my lady. As a friend, perhaps there is a matter you could undertake this evening. This elven woman, Briala, I suspect that she intends to disrupt the negotiations. My people have found these ambassadors all over the fortifications. Sabotage seems the least of their crimes.
If they're siding with the enemy, I'll put an end to it.
Be as discreet as possible. I detest the game, but if we do not play it well, our enemies will make us look like villains. We're keeping the court waiting, Inquisitor. Shall we?
Is that the Inquisitor?
An elf savage! Oh, make her forbid!
This is Gaspard's idea of a joke.
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valois.
Maker, what am I going to do if I cannot find my ring?
Is this the ring you were looking for?
You are a treasure! Enjoy the party.
Gaspard never struck me as pious. He must think he gains a military advantage with the Inquisition.
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valois. Is it true the Inquisitor was handed out of the faith by Andraste?
Foreigners. Any word from the front lines?
My spies said the bodies were beyond counting.
Surely the Empress will put an end to the war tonight.
Pray, my friend. If the Maker does not hear us now,
Just pray.
Where has that servant gone? Elves, always shirking their duties. Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
Is it true the Inquisitor was handed out of the Fade by Andraste?
What is Lady Pentecost wearing?
Was handed out of the Fade by Andraste?
I heard the Grand Duke invited the Inquisition here.
We can only hope Celine prevails tonight. Gaspard will ruin us all.
Are all the Delancey's here?
Inquisitor, a moment, if you please. I must warn you before you go inside. How you speak to the court is a matter of life and death. It is no simple matter of etiquette and protocol. Every word, every gesture is measured and evaluated for weakness.
I'll keep my guard up. Don't worry.
The game is like Wicked Grace played to the death. You must never reveal your cards. When you meet the Empress, the eyes of the entire court will be upon you. You are safer staring down Corypheus.
It might be a good idea for the others to hear this warning. Cassandra is usually not the subtle or cautious type.
I'll have a few discreet words. Everything will be fine. Andraste, watch over us all.
Is that the Inquisitor?
A delish?
So this is just the Winter Palace. What's the summer one look like, I wonder? Shit. I just saw two dwarves from the Merchants Guild go inside. If anyone asks, I'm not here.
I need to have this jacket let out a little.
The sooner we go in, the sooner we can get this over with.
What is Gaspar up to? It wouldn't surprise me if he brought...
I heard Celine was having the entire wing redecorated. But the timing is atrocious.
Why would she do such a thing now?
I had hoped to tour the Royal Wing Gardens again.
I have heard they are the finest in the Empire. It's such a pity the wing is sealed.
Interesting. Boring. Interesting. Waste of time.
The guest wing is not open to the public at this time, Inquisitor.
I can hardly believe Gaspar and Celine are in the same room.
I wish there was more news coming.
Good news is becoming an increasingly rare commodity.
How has the lyrium trade dropped off so sharp?
With so much fighting, demand should be higher than ever.
Большая библиотека Халамширала. Собрание книг в Зимнем дворце – одно из крупнейших в мире. Лишь библиотека университета Орлея и столичного императорского дворца могут сравниться с ней. Полки изготовлены знаменитым шкафных дел мастером Густавом Валфонтреским. Ай, ну его нафиг.
Good to know. Boring. Boring. Good to know.
How can they call this a vestibule? It's a foyer.
Please, it's barely half the size of the foyer in the Imperial Palace. It's obviously just I call it more of an antechamber myself.
No one asked you.
And now presenting Grand Duke Gaspard de Chalon, and accompanying him, Lady Inquisitor Lavellen. Shepherd and leash of the Wayward Order of Templars, purger of the heretics from the ranks of the faithful.
Remember to smile. This is all for show, my dear.
Champion of the Blessed Andraste herself.
Did you see their faces? Priceless.
Accompanying the Inquisitor, Seeker, Cassandra, Allegra, Portia, Calogera, Philomena.
Get on with it.
Pantagast, 14th cousin to the King of Navarra, 9 times removed, hero of Oрлея, right hand of the divine. Madame Vivienne, first enchanter of the Circle of Magi, enchanter of the Imperial Court, mistress of the Duke of Ghislaine, renowned author Tharic Thethras, head of noble house.
Cousin, my dear sister.
Grand Duke, we are always honored when your presence graces our court.
Don't waste my time with pleasantries, Celine. We have business to conclude.
We will meet for the negotiations after we have seen to our other guests.
Inquisitor?
Lady Inquisitor, we welcome you to the Winter Palace. Allow us to present our cousin, the Grand Duchess of Leeds, without whom this gathering would never have been possible.
What an unexpected pleasure. I was not aware the Inquisition would be part of our festivities. We will certainly speak later, Inquisitor.
Your arrival at court is like a cool wind on a summer's day.
I am delighted to be here, Your Majesty.
We have heard much of your exploits, Inquisitor. They have made grand tales for long evenings. How do you find Haram Shiral?
I've never seen anything to equal the Winter Palace.
We hope you will find time to take in some of its beauties. Feel free to enjoy the pleasures of the ballroom, Inquisitor. We look forward to watching you dance.
Inquisitor, a word when you have a moment.
Tell me, Yvette, how are Mama and Papa? Are they in good health? Do they want for anything?
It's true.
Papa's perfectly
Get
happy.
these pastries out to the diplomats.
Josephine! Oh, Josephine! Is this her?
Inquisitor, please allow me to present to you my younger sister, Yvette Gabriella Montillier.
Delighted to meet you, Lady Montillier.
Inquisitor, I've heard so much about you, but not as much as I want. Josephine writes, but she never tells me anything. Is it true you found the Red Templars sacrificing heretics and drinking blood from mages' veins?
Yvette!
Everyone in Antiva City is saying so. Is it true?
Oh, it was awful. Mage bones everywhere, practically a carpet of skulls over a river of blood.
Ew. Ow, awful.
Which power should the Inquisition throw its weight behind?
Celine has held the throne successfully for years. I see no profit in ousting her. Gaspard has run military campaigns, but never a kingdom. His transition would be, let us say, chaotic.
This may be my only chance to hear about when Josephine was a girl.
Oh, yes. As she told you about when she was 10 and...
Yvette, stop.
Fine. What about when we were climbing the cliffs by the...
No.
She once told the Duke of...
Absolutely not.
She still plays with her doll collection when no one's looking.
Yvette, that's absurd. Absolutely preposterous.
Tell me about yourself, Lady Yvette. This is the first time I've encountered any of Josephine's family.
She would forget to mention the artists. I've been studying painting under Antiva's royal tutors. You should be proud, Josie. I'm going to be exhibiting my work next season in the city's biggest salon.
Have you actually sat down and finished the painting yet?
I must wait for my inspiration.
And I must wait for your tutor's bits.
Enjoying the ball?
I see many of...
The dancing is so dull, Your Worship, but the Empress's gallery is magnificent.
Yvette...
Sorry, Josie.
Go on, Josephine.
Half Royal must be empty. So many of the Empire's finest are in attendance. They've noticed the Empress paying you special attention, but they don't quite know how to take advantage of it yet. This uncertainty won't last long, I'm afraid.
Which power should the Inquisition throw its weight behind?
Celine has held the throne successfully for years. I see no profit in ousting her. Gaspard has run military campaigns, but never...
I'll see you later.
Another time.
Does anyone have a report on the casualties in the Dales? Is that her?
The only
Are
one
you
to
married,
survive the Temple of
Commander?
Sacred Ashes.
How
The
come?
Empress afforded
Married to
to
my
renovate
work.
the palace.
Still
without war
single,
going
then?
on.
I
Please,
heard that it wasn't
Inquisitor,
renovations at all.
did you need something?
Palace was
The sooner we
damaged
track
by
down this
Gaspard's
infiltrator, the better.
He fired on the Winter Palace? That's monstrous.
Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary?
Nothing that stands out. I doubt there's a single person here without ulterior motives.
You've attracted a following. Who are all these people?
I don't know, but they won't leave me alone.
I take it you're not enjoying yourself.
At this point, the headache I'm developing is preferable to the company.
Who do you think the Inquisition should support?
Gaspard's claim to the throne is fair. Oрлея needs someone capable of responding to the crisis at hand. A military-minded leader seems the best option.
Do you have any advice?
Orlesian social events don't fall within my area of expertise. There are a few here we can trust. Be careful.
We'll talk later.
I await your signal.
Laurent was the love of my life. You remember? Perhaps we can speak later, Inquisitor.
And here we are. You haven't embarrassed yourself as much as I feared. Well done, my dear.
Any words of wisdom for navigating the ballroom?
Speak to the Council of Heralds. 6 of them are here tonight. The 7th member of the Council is indisposed. His absence will complicate the negotiations. The Council are the highest-ranking players of the game. They see everything. They might know something we can use.
Tell me, Vivienne, where do you want the crown to fall?
What I want is irrelevant, darling. Oрлея requires stability, and that is best served by Empress Celine.
I've always wondered, what's the Orlesian fascination with masks?
We all wear masks, my dear, not just the people in Oрлея. Who you are as a daughter, a lover, a friend, are very different people from the Inquisitor and Herald of Andraste. Orlesians codify this truth, make it visible. By giving each of these selves its own separate face, they believe they can be their truest selves, unmasked.
Anything happening I should know?
Cole is behaving even more oddly than usual. Someone should keep an eye on him.
It seems like you enjoy this, Vivienne.
This is the game, Inquisitor. Of course I enjoy it. If I didn't, I'd be dead by now.
Be ready to act when I give the signal.
Always, my dear.
Another time, perhaps?
I don't like that grandeur. Nobody should have as many hunters.
Have you heard from your nephew?
Not since his regiment joined the fighting.
Are you happy to see me at all, Josie?
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valoyou.
I didn't want to come. Mother knew.
It's been too long since I've had any word from
Smile,
Valoyou.
Commander.
You're so handsome when you smile.
He is just as handsome when he doesn't.
Are all the Delancey's here?
Maker, I hope not.
Where has that servant gone? Can I get you a drink, Commander Cullen?
No, sir.
Another time, perhaps?
Good. I was hoping I would catch you. What did the Duke say?
He points the finger at Ambassador Briala.
The ambassador is up to something, but she can't be our focus. The best place to strike at Celine is from her side. Empress Celine is fascinated by mysticism, foreseeing the future, speaking with the dead, that sort of rubbish. She has an occult advisor, an apostate who charmed the Empress and key members of the court as if by magic. I've had dealings with her in the past. She is ruthless and capable of anything.
How can Celine openly keep an apostate in the Imperial Court?
The Imperial Court has always had an official position for a mage. Before now, it was little better than court jester. Vivienne was the first to turn that appointment into a source of real political power. When the Circles rebelled, technically every mage became an apostate. The word lost much of its strength.
That sounds exactly like the person we're looking for.
She's worth investigating. Can't be sure of anything here. Both leads point toward the guest wing. It's a promising place to start. I'll coordinate with our spies to see if I can find anything better. I will be in the ballroom if you need me.
This ball is a waste of time, like all Orlesian foolishness. Let's find the Venatori collaborator and get out of here.
Have you witnessed anything noteworthy?
Nothing yet. I will let you know.
You don't seem to care much for the ball.
Orlesians pretend their petty squabbles are a game. Yes, let us treat murder, corruption, and deceit as delightful amusements. How wonderful. We are here to save Empress Celine, and it galls me. Why does she merit our protection? The Empire would be better off without her. Gaspard is the leader Oрлея needs in this crisis.
You support the civil war?
Of course not. Chaos is what Corypheus wants, and we must oppose him. Were it up to me, however, I would let Celine fall and Gaspard take the throne. He would see the true threat, not spend his time throwing balls and writing letters.
Stay alert. We don't know where the enemy is hiding.
I'll be watching for trouble. The sooner we leave this place, the better.
We are not serving drinks. Bother someone else. The package is in the guest wing. Upper room. The one of the garden. Statuette.
I should look around. Good to know.
Gaspard is wasting his time.
My lady! My lady Inquisitor!
May we have a word? It is very important.
The Empress has sent us with a message for you.
How can I be certain this message is from the Empress?
We three wear the masks of House Valmont.
They signify that we are public faces of the Empress.
They are also extremely fashionable.
I'm always honored to hear from Her Majesty.
Oh, she is the honored one, Inquisitor.
Empress Celine is eager to assist the Herald of Andraste in her holy endeavor.
She will pledge her full support to the Inquisition as soon as the usurper Gaspard is defeated.
Let me guess. All she wants in return is for me to help her defeat the Duke.
Oh, this is not meant as a bargain by any means, Inquisitor.
The support of the Empress is not conditional. It will be yours once the negotiations are concluded.
The Empress is the most skilled diplomat in Thedas. Gaspard is hopelessly out of his depth.
But we have taken enough of your time.
Please, enjoy the masquerade, Inquisitor.
Philippe should have returned hours ago, dallying with some serving girl while I deal with Gaspard's betrayal.
Awfully selfish of this, Philippe. Running off to play and leaving you with all the work.
I've half a mind to inform the Dowager. That would teach him to shirk his duties to roll some elven maid. Tonight of all nights, leaving me to convey Gaspard's death threats to the Council. Wonderful timing, Philippe. Thank you for listening to me rant. You are too kind, Inquisitor.
Inquisitor Llewellyn. Don't head into the servants' wing if you value your neck. Not one else gone in there tonight and come out again.
Our man was supposed to make a pickup in the garden hours ago. Bastard's likely dead by now.
Just gossip. Good to know.
Well, well, the Inquisitor. Here as a guest of my nephew, no less. How curious.
I didn't know the Grand Duke was your nephew.
He's my brother's eldest boy. Always a difficult child, Gaspard. Never listened, never did what he was told. He was raised a prince. All his life we told him he would be emperor. It was his destiny, his duty. What else should he do with his life, if not fight for his destiny?
Have you noticed anything strange this evening?
My niece Florian hasn't spoken to me all evening. That's not like her.
What can you tell me about the Civil War?
If you are hoping for insight, you've come to the wrong man. It's war. It is brutal, and terrible, and sometimes necessary. There's nothing more to say.
Another time, my lord.
We don't have a reliable report on Haven yet. Give our agents more time.
Inquisitor Lavellon, is there something I can do for you? I am Lady Marcelette, court historian to Her Imperial Majesty.
What exactly does a court historian do?
I am responsible for the historical records of the court. I maintain our library and record all official proceedings.
Are you here to chronicle the events of the evening for posterity?
Oh yes! This is a momentous occasion. The first meeting between the Grand Duke and Her Majesty since the war began. Even if, Maker forbid, the talks should fail, it is an important moment in the history of the Empire.
Good evening, Lady Marcelette.
Another time, perhaps.
Did you hear what Gaspard said to Duke Germain? His own uncle.
Germain bore his nephew's spite better than the rest of the council. Did you see that panicked attaché roaming about?
I don't like that Grand Duke. Nobody should own as many hunting dogs as he does.
Maker, if I have to clean up another puddle...
Well, well. What's this?
I am not talking to you until we get home.
Leave us.
Who does Orzammar favor in the negotiations today?
Any news of Paragon Branca?
Not since the king cut off her supply of castles. Castle business.
Prince Ezio Valisti of the House of Valisti in Antiva, and third Talon of the Antivan Crows.
Another time, perhaps?
Revered Mother Lucille of the Chantry of Arlezon, third cousin of Duke Gratien of Arlezon.
Look at Lady Cambien's slippers, trimmed with pearls and emeralds, and those buckles. Toss her into the lake and she'll sink right to the bottom. What a disaster.
There's a Tevinter assassin on the loose and you're concerned about buckles on shoes.
Everyone needs a hobby. Besides, you can learn a great deal about a person from their clothing. Gold and jewels on a dancing slipper. A slipper is easily lost and finds itself in the dust and dirt. She is unconcerned with the possibility of losing the shoe or soiling it. A vulgar display of wealth. But Lady Cambien's family has recently lost most of its holdings. They have their title, but little else. So, how did Cambien acquire such a grand shoe, What has she done? Who has she bedded? These are all useful questions, no?
I found this out. I'm not sure of its value.
Very interesting. It may not help our investigation, but we can put it to use. A little more dirt like this, and we might have some leverage in the court. If you find more, let me know.
You're different here than in Skyhold. More approachable, perhaps.
This is Halam Shiral, Inquisitor. This is the Imperial Court. This is the beating heart of the Great Game. Of course, everyone is wearing a mask. I learned this very young. I was still a girl when I attended my first ball. All this, the smiles, the small talk, it is a dance. And like any dance, it can be learned. For some of us, it has become so familiar that the steps may be performed in our sleep.
Have you seen anything interesting?
Oh yes. Halam Shiral is lousy with scandals and scheming. But no sign of our Tevinter infiltrator, I'm afraid.
Who do you think the Inquisition should support?
What we need most of all is a stable Oрлея. Either Celine or Gaspard can give us that.
I should go. Be on your guard.
I always am. I
didn't expect the Inquisitor to be so delightful. Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
I have an idea, Josephine. You should invite all the family to Skyhold for the summer.
Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
I don't like that Grand Duke. Nobody should
Gaspard
always
is
manage
wasting
without
his time.
Inquisitor, enjoying the ball, I hope.
Good evening.
And
What is Lady Pentecost wearing?
Interesting. Well, that's useful.
This is a private conversation.
Interesting.
You must be mistaken.
No, I'm quite certain it was blood on the tiles.
If they're playing the game, they're not doing it very well. You don't leave evidence if you play to win.
With Gaspard and that elf woman here, the only one playing to win is Celine.
You only say that because you fancy the Empress's pet apostate. It sickens me to think of the chaos those Maleficarum are causing across the Empire.
Even you cannot deny that the Templars abandoned the faithful in their darkest hour. How can you condone that? They are the ones who should be brought to heel, if you ask me.
Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valois.
Does anyone have a report on the casualties in the dens?
Minerva the Council of Heralds now.
Should have considered that before threatening to burn them all in their homes.
Get these pastries out to the diplomats.
The Duchess has asked for 2 minutes. I can't carry them all.
Qui saura nous guider dans la nuit? Meurtrière.
Does anyone have a report on the casualties in the Dales?
Is it true the Inquisitor was headed out of the faith I entrusted?
That's the bell. I should get back to the ballroom.
Are all the Delancey's here?
Maker, I hope
This is a
not.
private conversation.
If I heard correctly, you'd like to stop the rebel mages. We share a common goal.
We have had enough of the pyres and the raids and the constant threat of violence. My steward will contact your ambassador. I have skilled people who could be put to great use.
Gentlemen, that would be the second bell. Fashionably late now.
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does.
The band is still waiting for their refreshments.
Well, well. What have we here? The leader of the new Inquisition, fabled herald of the faith. Delivered from the grasp of the Fade by the hand of blessed Andraste herself. What could bring such an exalted creature here to the Imperial Court, I wonder? Do even you know?
We may never know. Courtly intrigues and all that.
Such intrigues obscure much, but not all. I am Morrigan. Some call me advisor to Empress Celine on matters of the arcane. You have been very busy this evening, hunting in every dark corner of the palace. Perhaps you and I hunt the same prey.
I hope so. I could use another ally here.
A sentiment I share, considering recent events.
Recent events?
Recently I found and killed an unwelcome guest within these very halls. An agent of Tevinter. So I offer you this, Inquisitor. A key found on the Tevinter's body. Where it leads, I cannot say. Yet, if Celine is in danger, I cannot leave her side long enough to search. You can.
You left Celine alone. Is that wise?
I must return to her anon, but she is safe enough, for the moment. 'Twould be a great fool who strikes at her in public in front of all her court and the Imperial Guard.
What's your interest in protecting Empress Celine? Are you her bodyguard?
Do I seem a bodyguard to you? If anything were to happen to Celine, eyes would turn first to her occult advisor, even if they knew otherwise. There are sharks in the water, and I will not fall prey to them. Not now, not ever.
Why did you kill the agent? He might have had useful information.
I would not have slain the man on sight had he not attacked me first. Why? Undoubtedly, I caught him in an illicit act. I did not know from whence he came until after the battle, and regret only that I could not capture him alive. What intentions the Imperium has here, I suspect you know far better than I.
Briala's people are whispering about disappearances in the servants' quarters. This key may lead there.
The ambassador does have eyes and ears everywhere, does she not? Proceed with caution, Inquisitor. Enemies abound, and not all of them aligned with Tevinter. What comes next will be most exciting.
Is that the Inquisitor?
Do you think she's pretty?
Sire Honorine Chastain, Chevalier of the...
Why would the Empress invite that elf woman?
The game, of course. Celine has something...
The Duchess has asked us to serve more of the...
Duke Gaspard has made a fortunate alliance.
I wonder if the lady
My friend,
Inquisitor agrees.
come in, have a drink. What can I do for you? You've been busily charming the court, I see.
We'll speak later, Duke Gaspard.
Another time, friend.
Lady Fifi and Lady Babette de Lancey, daughters of the Comte de Lancey.
Inquisitor, to what do we owe this honor?
We are always delighted to speak with you, of course.
Her Imperial Majesty is unfortunately occupied at present.
My investigations turned up something interesting. It concerns the Grand Duke. He's made a lot of threats to the Council of Heralds.
The Grand Duke is all talk, Inquisitor.
Very loud talk, accompanied by swords.
He has never had any skill at the game.
Good evening.
Until next time, Inquisitor.
Do take care.
Enjoy the masquerade!
Inquisitor Lavellum, how many of the guests have mistaken you for a kitchen servant? You've charmed some of the nobles. We'll see how long you can keep their favor. What brings you to me?
I want to know more about the peace talks. What can you tell me about Celine and Gaspard?
Gaspard is a warmonger. He served in the war against Ferelden and fought a dozen skirmishes on the Navarran border. He's a simple man. Simple men aren't hard to manipulate. Celine is the voice of reason in the Empire. But reason is cautious. Reason looks for compromise. Reason doesn't choose radical change, however sorely it may be needed.
We'll speak more later, Ambassador.
Another time, Inquisitor.